This video is sponsored by Caudabe.
Woo! It has been a minute since I ever did any type of full review about a device, man. I unbox it, usually I hit y'all with the impressions. I kind of let it just flutter out on its own, man. But when it came to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, I was like, you know what? I need to do a full review because there has not been a device in a very long time, besides the Note 20 Ultra, that I have been so up, down, and just my mind has completely changed about a device from when it's time to pre-order it, from the time you get it, and from the time that you've used it for a month or however long we've been using the 12 Pro Maxes. And yeah, my mind has changed so many times on this device. And I know you see the title. I'm pretty sure you got questions on what is going on about it. And yeah, we can talk a little bit about it because on the channel, I haven't even talked about this thing right here, the iPhone 12 mini. And this device alone has honestly changed my outlook on the 12 Pro Max. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. 12 Pro Max full review. I blame it on the 12 mini. Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy, Technically T, hitting you with another video today, man, and it's review time. Once again, I haven't knocked out one of these in a very long time. You know how your boy does. You know how it is when it comes to my videos. I'm not going to hit you with the specs. I'm not going to hit you with all of the specifications to the Max and the A14s and the benchmarks. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to review this 12 Pro Max as it's been my phone of choice. I hate saying daily driver, but it's been my phone ever since it released. Minor a few times, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit later, man. But just using this phone every day, mostly staying in the house during these times, and how it's been doing, how I'm feeling about it, we'll break it down in a few categories and we'll rock with it like that. So of course, we got to go ahead and start off from the outside and work our way inside, and we got to talk about the design. Now, when the Apple keynote event hit and they showed off those pictures, I was like, that thing looks absolutely amazing. And then even when you get the 12 Pro Max in hand, it still feels and looks amazing. Now, I know a lot of people out there are going to say right now that it's not a big design change from the 11 Pro Max over to the 12 Pro Max. And yes, I do agree, but the changes that they've made are some key changes that I think a lot of us have been wanting for a very long time. Now, when it came to the 11 Pro Max design, it wasn't a deal breaker. It was fine. The curved edges seemed pretty fine, but as the years progressed, definitely in 2020, when we start to see devices like the Note 20 Ultra, the Z Fold 2, the days of those round kind of bulbous edges have kind of come and gone. And now we're kind of back to that sharp type of squared off blocky design that I particularly care for. So therefore enters the 12 series, whether it's the 12 mini, 12 Pro Max, 12 Pro, whatever it is. I feel like they absolutely nailed the design when it came to these edges and just a squared off design in a whole. Now, if you're a person out there that uses their phone naked, man, God bless you all if you're out there and you use no case on your phone. But if you do, I feel like this helps tremendously when we are talking about holding the device. Now, I know a lot of people talking about they make it phone feel wider and different things like that. To be honest with you, I haven't had an issue with fitting the phone in my hand, and we'll talk about that a little bit after we get over the overall design aspect. But so far, I love the change of design of the flat screen. It just gave the 11 Pro Max that refresh that we've all kind of been waiting for. They kind of took it back to the days of the 5S, and I've always said the 5S was probably my favorite design iPhone of all time until the 12 series came out, and the 12 has to take the cake. Now, of course, everything isn't going to be all positive when we're talking about this design. Now, this is probably all personal. I'm gonna say that it's probably a personal issue, and I know a lot of people, I know a lot of you don't like it as well. I've heard it on the reviews and different things like that. But when it comes to these stainless steel edges, to be honest with you, I absolutely hate the stainless steel edges. Now, they look good. Don't get me wrong. They make the device look as premium as a device can look. But when we're talking about keeping your phone clean and different things like that, and I know before you get started, we all keep cases on our phones. I'm gonna keep it real with you. My phone is probably in a case 99% of the time, and that 1% that is not in the case, I'm usually wiping it off, doing a case review or something like that, and popping it right back into a case. But the times that it's out, it's just like, I hate it. I feel like that takes down from, I'm not going to say the resale value of your phone when you do sell it, but if you're like me, you depend on these phones to be resold in mint condition and different things like that in order to get the next phone. And with these stainless steel edges, you have to be really careful to keep them in very, very nice condition. I feel like they get little nicks and scratches on them for nothing. Now, I did have the 12 Pro in the silver, and that thing picked up scratches like no other. But when it comes to this Pacific blue and this is bezels, it doesn't seem like I've seen that many scratches up there, and I've used this way more than I used that 12 Pro. So I want to feel like the darker colors when it comes to the graphite and the Pacific blue, those edges may handle scratches a little bit better than the silver when it comes to that high polished kind of chrome look. So I prefer personally the sides of the 12 mini right here. When it comes to the 12 mini, I prefer these all day long when it comes to the matte aluminum. Yes, we are getting aluminum over the stainless steel, but at the same time, like I said, at the end of the day, cases are going to be on most of our phones out there, and it's not that big of a deal. But I just do not like shiny stainless steel on any phone. It doesn't have to be iPhone, it can be Samsung, OnePlus, no matter who makes it. I'm just not a fan of it. But other than that, when we're talking about the squared off design, absolutely amazing. The tolerances are tight when it comes to this device. You gotta love the design. The design, the build quality, Apple, they got that down pat. Now, to clear the air, I've been hearing so many people talking about the 12 Pro Max being too big in their hands when they hold it. And this really annoys me because iPhone makes a size for everybody out there. It's called Max for a reason. It's going to be big. You guys knew it was going from a 6.5 inch display up to a 6.7 inch. You know they're going to be packing a little bit more technology in these phones. It's going to make it a little thicker. But at the same time, this phone is not too wide to hold. I don't know where this crazy thing is about it being too wide to hold. Now, I will tell you this, coming from a 12 mini, from using that for a few days in the small form factor back to the 12 Pro Max, it does feel unwieldy. It does feel huge in your hands. But after a few minutes, after a few hours or so, it gets right back being regular. I'm not sure if I just have big hands to where it's not that big of an issue for me. But when it comes to holding this phone, I don't see it. It's called Max for a reason. It's going to be big. So if you don't like big phones, if it's too big for you, return it. Stop faulting the 12 Pro Max for being exactly what it's intended to be. Go get a mini, go get a 12 Pro. That's why they make the smaller versions in the story. Now, next up, let's talk about the display. Now, once again, I'm not hitting you with all the specs. You know that when you come to this channel, man, but I am here to tell you that it does have a 6.7 inch OLED screen that's improved from that 6.5 inch. And to me, hey, bigger screen always means better, in my opinion, better media consumption, better multitasking at doing whatever you want to do. We know they don't really have true multitasking, but once again, we're going to get into that a little bit later, man, but just doing what you need to do on an iPhone screen and you can get it done. Now, when it comes to the screen itself, I know a lot of people say it's not true quad HD, but let's be real. We're looking at a smartphone screen. How much quad triple HD 8K do you honestly need it to be to consume media on your device? If I can watch 4K and they give me that 4K option on YouTube, that's good enough for me. Straight up, that's fine for me. I don't need nothing more. That's as high as a quality video that I'm going to watch on my screen. And if you put an iPhone quad HD or 4K option and you put a Samsung, we're going to be hard pressed to truly see huge differences. Now, when it comes to an iPhone screen, they make some of the best out there. Am I going to say the best? No, I'm probably still going to give that to Samsung and different manufacturers like that. But when it comes to an iPhone display, we can't deny some of the most color accurate, pin sharp. They really make nice displays. Yes, it may leave you wanting for more when it comes to that 120 hertz. We know for everybody that was going to be a huge deal this year that they didn't include a 120 hertz. Now, it's late. It's late in the game. I feel like it would have been cool to see. Does it change the way I use a phone? Absolutely not. I'm going to use a phone the same exact way I always use a phone, but iOS is just that smooth, that optimized, that you really don't miss 120 hertz. 60 hertz on an iPhone is definitely way different than 60 hertz on an Android phone. You can argue that down in the comments all you want, but they feel completely different. Where on Android, it has a tendency to feel a little bit jarring, but when you're on iOS, and people, just keep it real, it's a little bit of smoother experience and it's not as jarring as it is on Android. So yes, I would have liked to seen them to do ProMotion 120 hertz, whatever it's called. You did it on the iPads. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out on the iPhones, but next year on iPhone 13, Apple, we're gonna need some ProMotion. We're gonna need some 120 hertz, but as your screen sits to this day, it's still amazing panels. They get plenty of bright. It really doesn't leave me wanting for more when it comes for displays on iPhones. Now, before we continue with the video, it's time to pause and give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's going to be Caudabe. Now, I know when it comes to the whole sponsor thing, everybody kind of has their opinions, but no, I'm here to keep it straight up 100 that I have been using and buying Caudabe cases years before I even had a YouTube channel. I love their cases. I love the cases that they offer. And it just fits what I like in the case very well. So if you're one of those people who likes to keep things minimalistic, and I know iPhone users, we don't like to run bulky cases, then you definitely want to check out the case lineup from Caudabe. And for the perfect example, I have to talk about the Sheath. So if you're one of those people who want drop protection, but in a very slim form factor, then you definitely might want to check this case out. And not only does it provide you a slim yet drop protected case, it also gives you a very nice material that goes around it, so you don't have to worry about dropping it. Very grippy. We all know we don't want anything slippery when it comes to these cases, and on top of that, it still has a lay on the table protection, so if you want to lay it face down, or if you do drop it with the oopsies, you definitely should be covered. So you already know I will be leaving the links to the Sheath for all the iPhone models, whether you have a 12 Pro Max, 12 Pro, 12 Mini, whatever it is. The links will be down below. So definitely go check one out. Tell them your boy Technically T sent you. So huge shout out to Caudabe. Let's go ahead and get back into the video. Next up, performance. Now, when it comes to performance, do I truly have to say anything more besides it has the A14 Bionic? We know it's going to be blazing fast. It handles everything that you need it to do. It doesn't lag. It doesn't hiccup, even though those times are going where we're talking about laggy and different things like that. But the A14, it's one of the strongest processors out there for a reason, man, because it handles literally everything you throw at it, no matter what. So I'm not going to go ramble on too much about the processor. I do a little bit of gaming, but my games are like Candy Crush level of gaming. I don't do really like crazy high graphic intense games. That's not really my thing. I'd rather do that on my console. But if you do, it can handle them just fine without any issues. Now, when I want to talk more about the performance is a few things that I feel like a lot of people aren't really talking about, and that is going to be RAM management on the 12 Pro Max. Since using this device, I have found myself leaving apps for days, and I'm talking about tons of days, and coming back to it, and it's still right where it left off. And I have been really impressed when it comes to RAM management. Now, I'm not sure if it's muchly, deeply impressed from the 11 Pro Max, because I feel like I didn't have those constant stand in the background running apps on the 11 Pro Max. I just really noticed it on the 12 Pro Max. So that made me seem like it has better RAM management, because I don't remember on the 11 series. So for that to be as good as it is for the at least RAM that they have, I mean, I think they only have what, 6 gigs of RAM in this model, where the other ones, I think like the 12 and the 12 mini have 4. That just shows you how well optimized everything is going on in the background and how that A14 is processing it. So a big kudos for Apple for that. If you're a person you're kind of picky about RAM management and different things like that, it's absolutely perfect. It's great in my opinion when it comes to the 12 Pro Max. Now, battery life. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the battery life. Now, once again, this is a big boy. It's going to yield you the best battery life out of any of the iPhone series that's out right now, 12 series at least. And I'll say that because the 12 Pro Max battery is great, but I still feel deep in my mind that the 11 Pro Max still got slightly better battery life than the 12 Pro Max. Now, am I a person who's out there counting screen on time every single day? No. I take my phone off the charger in the morning. I'm literally going into my office to do work, log on, and different things like that. During these times, we know what's going on. A lot of us aren't going out adventuring unless you're an essential worker out there who has to actually get out the house every single day. Most of us are home. So for me, this year, I'm not going to be a super stickler on battery, because the battery life easily can last me all day. Now, I know a lot of people say the battery life lasts them 2 days, and to be real with you, why does a battery have to last me 2 days? I could care less. I'm home, working from home every single day. A wireless charger is on my desk. So if I need a quick little charge, just pop it on your charger. I think a lot of us take screen on time a little bit too serious. Just take your phone off the charger and see how long it lasts you throughout the day. Can it get you to the end until you get back home to where you can take a shower or have dinner, throw it on a charger for 20 minutes? and keep it going about your day. Now, I'm not saying that the 12 Pro Max have bad battery life, but what I'm telling you is it can easily get you through the day. And if it didn't, pop it on the charger for 15 minutes, put your phone down and do something else. Go watch a TV show, go cut the grass, I don't know, do something. But the 12 Pro Max battery is absolutely amazing. I haven't had any issues with it. On very hard days, I can get my phone to not die, but I can probably put it on a charger at the end of the day and it may be on battery saving mode. And there's other times where I use it very lightly. I don't actually need to put it on a charger, and I can probably go into the next day with, I don't know, 40 or so percent and still get a good, a good usage throughout the day. So it really depends on personal usage when it comes to battery life, but I'm pretty sure the majority of people out there, you're going to be just fine when it comes to battery on the 12 Pro Max. Absolutely amazing. But if you're coming from a 11 Pro Max, just know that you're probably going to experience a little bit of hit on the battery. And to me, that's a big disappointment, because when we're talking about battery technology in these devices, we shouldn't be going backwards. We should be getting better battery life, not taking battery life away. So I don't really know how I feel about that, but with all that aside, 12 Pro Max battery, absolutely amazing. Now, next up, probably one of the most important features when it comes to smartphones, and that is going to be cameras. Now, you know me, I'm not going to be go out there taking pictures of grassy lake meadows and waterfalls and perfect setup pictures when it comes to the 12 Pro Max. Nah, for one, that's just not what I do. And for two, I'm barely leaving the house these days as it is. Me and my family aren't going anywhere to take vacation pictures or anything like that. But what I do have pictures of is everyday life when you're pulling out your phone, taking pictures of my son, pictures of whatever I might be sipping on a little bit when it comes to the weekend, a picture of a random piece of tech item or something like that. That's what I'm taking the pictures of. And for the most part, when you're taking this phone and you're snapping a picture, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a very solid, you're going to get a very consistent picture. When it comes to selfies, all of that works pretty good. Now, we know they do have the LiDAR scanner. Now, everybody was making a big fuss about it, but I'm not even really sure if it truly matters that much. Sometimes I will take a picture with my 12 mini and then turn around and take the same picture with my 12 Pro Max. And even though the 12 Pro Max has that bigger sensor, I can kind of tell a little bit when we're talking about night scenarios, because the other day I was taking a picture of my camera, took it with the 12 mini, and it took a little bit longer. You can see that shutter took a little bit long time, but when I went over to my 12 Pro Max, same lighting conditions, it didn't really activate night mode. It just took a little bit of time, but you can tell that there was a difference in that sensor and how it brings in light. So overall, the cameras on the 12 Pro Max are going to be pretty good. Now, it's funny that we even are doing this review right now, because literally during the beginning of this video, my iPhone 12 Pro Max was updating with 14.3. That's going to activate Pro RAW, but once again, that's not going to change the way I use my cameras. I'm going to take them out and take a picture of whatever is in front of me, and I'm going to keep it moving, keep it for my my own well-being, my own viewing pleasures when it comes to looking at pictures on your gallery, and I'm going to keep it moving. Is it a big improvement over the 11 series? Not really. You have the LiDAR, you can take nighttime portrait modes, but once again, that's something that I'm not really doing right now with what's going on, and probably with what's going to be continually to go on with the whole virus thing. So overall, the cameras are solid. It's going to give you an amazing picture. I don't really know what else you want me to say about the camera. When it comes to that video camera, you already know. Easily the best out there when it comes to video. Nothing can touch it. I feel like I want to try doing a video just straight with the iPhone 12 Pro Max to upload to my channel, just so you can see the quality of the camera that you can do. It's absolutely amazing what shooting video on the iPhone can yield you. Some of the best out there, if not the very best. So in conclusion, how do I truly feel about the iPhone 12 Pro Max? And right now it is a crazy mixed bag, and that's because of the 12 mini. Now, we know when it comes to iPhone, when it comes to iOS, they don't really do much to make you really take advantage of the big screen. Let's just be real. iOS does zero to help you take all this real estate in when it comes to the 12 Pro Max. And then here comes the 12 mini skipping along, one device that I was always curious about, and I got it and I was like, I see what everybody is talking about. iOS to me is more catered for smaller devices, and I didn't really get that quote in the very beginning, but once I had the 12 mini, I 100% agree with them saying that. And not saying that it's more enjoyable on a small screen, but Really, it honestly is, man. You have this big screen you can't do anything with. You can do picture in a picture, but you can do picture in a picture on this. You can't even do split screen on this. It would have been different if they let you do split screen on this than this. Then it may have been a big difference. But when it comes to both of these devices, it's almost no difference in the user experience. Yes, you're gonna have, of course, the defaults, the bigger, smaller screen, lesser batteries, smaller RAM, smaller speakers. But this video isn't about the 12 mini. It's still about the 12 Pro Max. But what I'm getting at is when you use any of the other devices, even when it comes to the 12 or the 12 Pro, you're like, okay, what does the 12 Pro Max truly have to offer that's so mind-blowing over the non-Pro models? Yes, you get a bigger screen. Yes, you get a bigger battery. But just like I stated before, people have to stop getting too caught up in battery life and screen on time. If you take your phone off the charger when you leave, you go to work in the morning, by the time you get home, do you still have battery left? That's all that matters. Now, if you're a person out there living that wild life and staying out for 2 or 3 days, then I guess you may need battery that lasts you days and days and days. But as I always say, if the phone gets you through when you take it off the charger in the morning, by the time you get home to plug it in the charger, people act like they're allergic to plugging their phone in while they're driving from work to get a little bit of extra charge to last you throughout the day. So this is what I'm getting at when I mean, what does the 12 Pro Max truly have to offer you? Right now in 2020, when you have devices like the 12, which I feel like is the best value iPhone, and I'm almost considering selling my 12 Pro Max just to go to the 12, because honestly, you're not going to be missing much. The LiDAR, I can care less about that. The bigger sensor, I can care less about that, because I'm still getting amazing pictures when it comes to this 12 mini. So the glaring differences are slowly getting very smaller, and it just really leaves me as a question mark for the 12 Pro Max. Yes, it's an amazing device as being the iPhone's big phone, the biggest phone. Yes, it's amazing, but what are they doing with the big phone? And the answer is absolutely nothing. They're not doing anything for this big phone. So y'all let me know how y'all feel down below when it comes to the 12 Pro Max. I'm not hating on this phone. I'm not, giving it that much negative praise, but at the same time, I feel like, come on, Apple, it's 2020. We need to be doing something with this big screen. I don't know. Give it Apple Pen support. Give us some split screen. Give us a little bit something more to look forward to when it comes to the 12 Pro Max, besides it's just being a big phone that offers better battery life and a bigger screen real estate. You're going to have to give me something a little bit more to go along with that hefty price tag that you're charging for the 12 Pro Max. But anyway, yo, I'm about to get up out of here, man. Definitely been fun reviewing the 12 Pro Max. I'll let you guys know a little bit about what I do with this bad boy if I tend to keep it. Am I gonna go with the 12 mini being my daily iPhone, or am I gonna get rid of all this and get an iPhone 12? But you already know, man, everybody please stay safe. Do all the YouTube things. Hit that like, hit the sub button, comment down below, hit that bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. But until next time, everybody please stay safe. Catch you on the next one. Later.